Hey, my Juju Bees, welcome back to the channel. How are you guys doing today? Today is Wednesday. I haven't been here in a while. I love you all, but I had all type of stuff going on. I had to read Butterfly 4 and digest Stacy. That's why I got her in the background, because we gonna get there though. But we are on Butterfly 2 right now. So if you are new here, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I would be so excited if you did. Also, please don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you could be notified every time I upload a new video. Please also don't forget to share this video with everybody. Let them know what I got going on over here. So we're going to get this thumbnail and we're going to get right into it, okay? That's a really good thumbnail. So, today, of course, I have seafood because I haven't seen y'all in a long time. And, y'all know seafood is my favorite. So I was going to take it out, but this is real juicy today. So I just left it in here. I do have my little drink here in the back. But I just have shrimp that I made at home, corn, potato, snow crab leg, and mussels. And rice. So how are y'all doing? Did y'all miss me? I missed y'all. But I was so caught up in that book, child. I couldn't separate myself from it. I couldn't. I finished it in one day. It took me probably less than a day. I think I was on vacation still, so I think I started it at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And I was done. Well, technically I wasn't done. So I would say it took me a whole day. Maybe a whole 24 hours. But I wasn't done. But I did stop at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning because it was intense. I had to keep going. And then I finished it the next day. It probably took me maybe like 30 or 40 minutes to finish it the next day. So I won't say nothing about it because I will not spoil it. But if you do have it, follow me on Facebook or Instagram. You can hop in my DM. We can talk about it, baby. So when you start off, we left the invitation, and Mickey was sitting outside of Morgan's house debating if he wanted to go in and if he was in over his head with dealing with her. Then so when you start off Butterfly 2, you have to remember that Messiah was not in the invitation, but he was in Butterfly 1. So when you get to Butterfly 2, it kind of picks up from his discussion that he was having with Ethic. And remember when he pulled up on, when he pulled up on Ethic, when Ethic was at the cemetery visiting Raven, because he knew that was going to be the safest place without it being a catastrophe. But he pulled up on him when he was outside talking, to Raven, how he do all the time, go see her, whatever the case may be. So, when we go to Butterfly 2, that's kind of where you pick up at. The prologue is Ethic and Messiah waking up early in the morning, maybe like 6 a.m., so that they can kind of talk, and Ethic can put down how he wants this all to work. Because we know Morgan is sensitive, and her finding out that Messiah is alive is one thing, but then the realization of him being alive is going to be another thing. Can you imagine loving somebody as intensely as she loved him? He disappeared and then he reappeared. Baby, I would be completely floored. Happy eventually, but floored in the beginning. So, mind you, a butterfly too. Only we know that he's alive. She don't know. Nobody knows except for Ethic at this point. And Blue. So, and Blue Sun. So, he pull up on Messiah. They go for a ride on the lake because Ethic bought a boat. Why he bought a boat? Because Alani wanted one. So he bought her one. So it's 6 o'clock in the morning. And he like, we can't do this no other time, OG. Like, we had to do this right now. And so he liked sorry, y'all. He liked the fish bite better early in the morning. And so Messiah talked about how he hated the fact that Ethic looked at him, you know, with those eyes of mistrust because he don't trust him. Last time Ethic talked to Messiah, he was a snake. You know, not only did he snake him, but he was being a snake to his whole entire family. So of course he's gonna give him that look like, yeah, But you have to know that there's love there, because if it wasn't, Messiah would be a memory. So, he told him to grab the bait. They got on the truck. I mean, they got out of the truck and I'm just getting sauce all on my little tablet. My daughter's tablet. They got out of the car, got to the boat, and that's what he was like, how did you get the boat? Alani wanted it, so I bought it for her. He's like, you would do anything for her, huh, OG? He like, anything. Whatever she asks, that's my job. He said to anticipate her needs before she even notices she needs something. He said, I'm her man, so that's my role. So she'll never want for anything from me, not even attention, not even time. The money is cool, but it's the things that money can't buy that she appreciates the most. He said, that's why I buy her everything, because she don't care nothing about it. Because I'm having a hard time getting into this crap today, and it shouldn't be this hard. But we all know that Alani, she came from the gutter, so she's not the gutter, but y'all know what I mean, like Susan Street over there, the gutter. So money don't mean nothing to her. Ethic for real done turn her on to something where the finer things of life have now become something that she can indulge in and something that she likes. But so he said he hoped that he could say the same thing one day. That he hoped that his progress would somehow lead him back to Morgan in that way. So, ooh, this is good, y'all. So good, I'm making a mess. So they got on the boat. They went all the way out, and once they got further enough out, he let the boat go idle. So he said, you know how he came out here? And this is Ethic talking. So Messiah said, yeah, you trying to decide on if I'm going to stay out here. And so he knew why he picked that time of the day. Couldn't nobody hear nothing if something was to happen. Nobody would see anything. It was a good place to put a body if need be. So he asked him, like, you all right? You well? You feeling okay? He said, I'm breathing for now. So he got a pole. They put the they fishing pole out there, and they got ready to put the bait on so they can fish. So y'all know Ethic is a teacher man, and he wants, sorry, because that's just too much. Ethic is a teacher man, and he wants for people to learn as much as they can learn, get as much knowledge as they can, whether it be from him, whether it be something he learned and he's passing it down. He do that with everybody that he come in contact with. He did it with Henny. He did it with Ethic. I mean, he did it with Messiah before right now. He do it with Bella. That's just the type of man that he is. So he said, grab that stick, let me teach you how to catch your meal. So he's like, okay. Grab a stick. He said, see, Alani, That was nasty if something came out. I'm sorry, y'all. He said, see, Alani, she's my meal. She feels me. He said, I had to hunt her because a real woman knows how to invade you. They know how to contain some control in their life. A must to retain, some governance over themselves. He said, so I had to figure out how to get her to think that submitting to me was a choice and not dominance. If she thought that I was trying to conquer her, then she would buck back. But if I made it easy for her and I made it smooth, made her believe that it was her choice, then she would feel like, oh, she's doing something good. Or she's doing a good thing. So I had to make it feel good to her. I had to make it, I had to hunt her heart, her mind, and her body. I hit every target, he said, with precision. He said, I showed her that I could be her suitor. So I proved to her over and over again that I could keep her safe. And not just physically, but mentally and emotionally too. We all know that circus that Alani took at the Cone. We all know that. We was out there for that. It was long. It was drawn out. It drove me crazy. I'm sure it drove everybody else watching crazy. He said, but I proved that to her over and over again that I could take care of her heart, emotionally, mentally. So by the time she even realized that she was submitting or that it was a thing, it was already too late. I already had her. So he said, I caught my meal. She fed me. Put everything in my belly that was needed to make me feel like a man. He said, in that Mr. Roundup time, man, that's a whole nother thing. Guess what I got, y'all? Muscles. I'm going to try these because last time I had got some from a different place. And, ooh, that was spicy. They was good. So, we gonna see how this works. Put a little sauce on there. Chew it out. So, decided to my word. When he told him like that, Mr. Nasty time, that's what's up. So, he said, I'm a lucky man. And Messiah said, I would have never thought of it. Of course, he kind of thrown off because Ethic don't never talk about his type of escapades with anybody, about any girl or woman he was ever with. So he said, you got to lay the bait for most something that's so tempting that she can't do nothing else but take the bait. You got to feel good to her. You got to feel safe for her. I'm going to eat this corn. I'll never eat corn on camera. It'd be too messy. But it's good and sweet, though, y'all. He said you got to feel nourishing to her. Something that makes her feel safe at all times. She has to know that she can trust you, and when you there and when you ain't. So, she got to know her heart is safe with you. Because when she do have to pick, a queen is going to pick her safest kingdom. Your bait is the kingdom you build. The last name you offer and the story behind it. What you bring to the table. Because right now, Messiah, you in the negative. You can't really bring nothing for more right now. She don't like you. Y'all left off on such bad terms. Like, when you come back, she probably gonna want to fight you. As she should, because I would. So when he said that, like, you know, the legacy you're gonna leave behind or where you came from, he was like, man, she ain't gonna wanna, I can't help who I am, and she'll never want that. Blood to the man who rocked her entire world. She won't love that. Like, she just don't want no parts of me. He said, Mazan, Ethic said, wasn't your brother. And Messiah was like, And so he was like, I wish that was my OG. But he said, when have you ever known me just to say anything, just to say something, like just to hear myself talk? He was like, he's not your blood. He was Bookie's lover, maybe. I don't know. He said, but it's some messed up stuff that was going on over there. So he said, your father had some preferences, like some demons. Bookie was sick, okay? Because he done manipulated Messiah into thinking that Mazan was his brother when it's not. It was his lover. So now you got your biological son out here trying to avenge the death of a man you used to be with romantically. Like, you sick. You real sick. Done killed that little boy mama to manipulate him into believing that he owe you something. Like, man, I hate Bookie. So, he was like, don't call him my daddy. Like, he ain't that. He didn't raise nothing. He said, I see you with Easy, like how you guide him. Here's like how you teach him. Even when he do something wrong, like, you get in his ass, but you stern, but it's still love. Like, you still easy with little homie too, though. He was like, that's fatherhood. Like, that's the only way of being a father that I will ever acknowledge. Like, what he did and who he was, that shit ain't. And Messiah had to stop himself because, of course, he was getting emotional. He said, some niggas just got the devil in them. What he did to you and young boys before you, I'm sorry about that. He was like, and I know it turned you cold. I never really had a chance, Messiah. You never really had a chance, Messiah, he said. Like, and if I had known earlier, if you had told me sooner, I would have eliminated him. He said, I would have hit him in the middle and had him bleed slow. And it's a Ethic words was so calm that it sent chills up Messiah's spine. So he said, I couldn't tell nobody that, not even, he said, not even you, especially not you. He said, I believe he did the same thing to Mazan, but the abuse turned it to something else. He said some Stockholm shit. I don't even know what that is, but I'm pretty sure it's that one crazy movie with the guys, but somebody tell me about it in the comments. He said, I don't think anyone can ever understand because the only people who can explain it are no longer here. Because y'all know Ethic killed Bookie and Mazan. So neither one of them are even there. This is nasty for real. Neither one of them can tell anybody else what happened. This really is nasty, but it do taste good. So so he said, you're not related to the man who ruined Mo's childhood, and it doesn't matter that Bookie was yours biologically. He said, I told you a long time ago, Messiah. He said, I don't know if you like my son or my brother or a little bit of both, but you mine. He said, and that shit cut deep. He said, I ain't slept right since that night that you told me who you were. He said, I ain't breathe right. He said, I lost something that day. Like, not only Mo, but I lost something too. Like, it wasn't just her who was suffering. He said, Mo lost something that day, but you not being Mazan's brother, like, that means something to her. It'll give you a chance. He said, you're going to get one shot with her, though, because I ain't finna have you coming in and out and messing her up all over again. You got to get yourself together. None of that half-ass little boy shit. Like, you got to come on a grown man status. So, he said, you're not a little boy no more. Okay? And he said, you know, nod his head. Okay, so, he told him, but if you cross me again, I won't hesitate. He said, you even breathe wrong. And so he just stopped in the middle. Like, he felt like he didn't need to say it, because I felt like he felt like Messiah knew that this was his only shot to double back with him or whatever. So he put his hand on Messiah's shoulder and they went fishing. So he gave him a fishing pole. He's like, what am I supposed to do with this? He said, wifey done told you and turned you into an old man. He said, yep, old as hell. And when I get back, she probably going to be mad because of the smell of the blunt. He said, but at least I can do is blow one with you. And I mean, he said she can have an exception considering I got cancer and all. And he said that might be the only thing that stopped her from putting me on the couch. And so they sat there for a minute, and I think Messiah wound up getting like a little bite on his string. And so he told him, well, before he got the bite on his string, he did tell him, like, it must be nice to have, you know, that relationship with Alani or whatever. He said, I want that with Shorty Doo-Wop, like, put me on the couch every night as long as she let me come home. Like, he said, I need you to keep your distance, though. You can't pop up on her without warning. I need to talk to her first. Like, she's fragile. She can't take a lot. You focus on getting yourself together, and I'll figure out how to let her know you back. He said, or that, hell, that you even alive for that point. He said, she went through a hard time when you left. You got to be careful the way you come back into her life. He said, I just want to be here, man. Whatever it takes. And so, what's his name? Ethics said, no more fuck-ups, man. And so he felt like to have forgiveness from and love after what he had did to Ethic, and his family was just like beyond measure, you know. Because for real, Ethic could have threw him to the wolves and told him, like, you can't come back here. Like, there's nothing left for us to even discuss because you betrayed me like you did. Like, you don't have to come back here. There's nothing back here for you. I don't care what you think you still got here. You don't. But he embraced him and told him basically, like, it's okay. It's cool. Like, we mess up. But I love you. And I'm going to always be here for you. And at this point, you are... He don't know this yet, but you got kids. You know what I mean? Y'all got kids together. So, this food was good today. I don't know if I was just real hungry or I ain't had it in a while, but forgive me. So, they was on the boat or whatever. And then now he caught the fish. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? He just started reeling. So he started reeling it in. And he like, man, this one ain't coming up. Like, this must be a tough little cookie. So he like, he said, he got hard. He told me not throw it back. He said, sometimes you catch something just to let it go. When it's for you, you'll know. That ain't our catch. So that's Ashley with all her metaphors. I love her. She makes sure to let us know what it is and what it ain't. So, I'm mad I got a half a pound of these mussels and they only gave me like 4. But I ain't gonna complain. Because I probably really didn't need all of them anyway. But, so, Mickey is over Morgan's house. And we know that he had a conversation with his mom. And his mom was telling him, like, you need to be careful because she has the power to really hurt you in this situation. And it's turning into something that's more than just friendly. I know y'all keep on trying to classify it as friendship, but y'all ain't fooling nobody. It's more than that. And it really is. It kind of like got intense so fast for them. So they're both confused. So he sat in his car for about, I want to say the boy said maybe like an hour or... And so she finally came downstairs because he was like outside of her house. She asked me, did you have any trouble getting into the gate? And he like, nah, I didn't. And then she said, are you giving yourself a hard time? And he kind of like, yeah. He like, man, because you messing me up, Mom. He said, I'm trying here. Like, you know where you're going to end up. So she said, you know where you're going to end up. So let's just stop feeling guilty about it. He said, you got to understand, love, the shit I want to do. She was like, we've already done. He said, nah, love, new shit, more shit, meek shit. Like, and so at this point, like, you for real, not for real, but for real, like, you engaged, ma'am, to a whole nother man. Okay, like, let's not even say, like, Messiah don't even have a factor in this at this point. You got a whole fiance. Like, what you... This is so nasty. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, basically, we creeping. You know what I'm saying? Like, me, you, and the skybox. Nah, but me and you, we creeping. We ain't really in no love thing, because, I mean, we are, but we ain't, because you got a fiance that you won't leave. So, he take her into the house. They play the, what's the song? Sorry, y'all. He played a song, what's the song? I think it's time we take a trip to the bed. Who is that? And I'm loving one. Don't you be afraid to. Trey Songz. So they do what grown-ups do. And it's pretty intense. Grab your ankles, love. That probably happened or whatever the case may be. So he asked her, like, what time are you on? And he told her, like, look, you need to leave him. I got you. I got the twins. Mess with me more than, like, for real. No games, no apologizing for it. She's like, you don't want that for real. Like, you think you want it, but you don't. It's a lie, I mean. It's not always fun. It's not always like this. Like, it's responsibility. She said, we haven't even really been on a date together. Like, me leaving with you after a night of clubbing does not count. He like, so let me take you out. Like, I had plans, but you altered them. He said, per your skating on Friday, your request, I prefer... No. Oh, yeah. He said, I prefer something a little bit more grown up, but if you want to go skating, then I'm with it, love. He said, I'm not tucking you away. I don't want to come through at night and leave in the morning, like the shadows. And he said, it's not how I prefer to do this thing, not with you or whatever. So she blushed. She's like, so you want to show me off? He like, you pretty, Mo, but it ain't that type of stuff. Like, I just don't want you to feel like you're a secret, like you had shit that you're embarrassed about. Like, time's up for the nigga, though. You ain't his no more. Like, you're not by. It's over. Time to let him go. So, and he said, what you do to me is not normal. She said, Morgan. And he said, Morgan, huh? He said, that's what your mama named you? She said, but that ain't what my man calls me, though. My man calls me love. So get it right next time. Like, I like Morgan, but girl, you played this role too thick. Like, that ain't your man. You got a fiance that you're not willing to leave right now. So Mickey is not your man. And I was kind of mad that he let her play him like that. Like, ugh. I can't get too far into it because I don't want to get a book up. But I was like, I don't like it. Like, I don't. Like, but okay, so He said, yo, man, huh? She said, mm-hmm. Yes, Mickey, you're mine. So the next day, I'm gonna hang out with y'all a little longer. So I'm gonna do 10 more minutes because I need y'all to get this next part. So the next day, they done fell asleep. He done spent the night. Okay, he done spent over the night. That's what my daughter used to say. He done spent over the night. So she feel like, oh my gosh, I could wake up to him. Like, this is so much like right. Oh my God, I just so love, blah, 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 blah. Now, mind you, in book one, she had took off with him, like on the back of his bike while she was trying on wedding dresses. So she is kind of like on the outs with the Fredericks, okay, at this point. So, so she sleep or whatever. All of a sudden, it's like a text message and it's Bash. Now, imagine you in here laid up with Mickey, shirt off, sweatpants tucked down low, so the V cut showing. Y'all just had a whole night full of love making, and now your fiance at the door. Really? Like, that's how I feel. Like, you got to come better than that. But, okay, this is what Mickey got himself into. He knew what he signed himself up for, they say, but whatever is whatever. So, she like, oh, my God. Like, what I'm going to do? Like, I can't, like, not let him in, like, because he's at my door. He ain't, like, called before he decided to show up. Like, he just showed up on her, like, because, like I told y'all, she pulled the stunt by getting on the back of Mickey's motorcycle, and now he want to know, like, why you embarrassing my family like you did, little girl? Like, you done did all this other stuff. My shirt is filthy. And now you done embarrassed me by leaving the place trying on a wedding dress to be on the back of a motorcycle with some thug. Like, girl, you owe me an explanation. So she like, hey, what you doing here? She said, I'm not feeling well, Bash. Like, I know it's some things that we need to talk about. He said, like, you running off with that nigga in the middle of your free press interview? Which one of them is you, Morgan? You know about which one of them is it? Because I need to know. And she like, what? And he like, you ran off with one of Messiah's friends. Now, which one? Amik, right? Like, girl, because girl. And she like, so now he trying to push in. You know about, you have to let me in this door. So she like, what are you doing? He like, what you doing? Let me in. Like, you about to talk to me through the door. You embarrassed yourself and my family. Like, you do the most asinine shit. Okay? He said, we was good in London. I take you out the ghetto. This is when it just, my taste for Bash just went out the window. He said, I take you out the ghetto. She like, the ghetto? Like, boy, who you talking to? Who you talking to? You didn't take me out of no ghetto. I grew up in $1 million home, both homes. My daddy, my biological father was a millionaire, and so is Ethics. So I did not grow up in the project. So you got life twisted. Wrong girl. I was mad at Bash because I wanted to square up with him for real. Like, who you talking to? Talking about you took me out the ghetto. Boy, you ain't take me out no ghetto. Your mama. Now, I took your mama out the ghetto. That would have been me. But, that, hey, let me, because I would have went left. Like, your mama was in the ghetto and your daddy saved your pissy mammy. So don't talk to me about nobody growing up in no ghetto, baby. Because I don't even know what the size of the ghetto look like for unless I walk myself in there voluntarily, baby. Because I ain't never grew up in no ghetto. Because I don't like Bash. I know that I can't stand him. Okay? I cannot. So, he said, I'm talking about how you were one way in London and we get back here and you a completely different girl. But that's because the Morgan that you dealt with, Bash, in London, that's somebody she made up. That's not even her. She was doing that to fit in with you and your uppity mammy and your uppity daddies and all of their elite crowds. Like, that ain't Morgan. Like, Morgan is stiletto game Morgan. Like, long stiletto tip nails, long hair, braids down her butt. Like, that. I want that Morgan. Anyway, so he like, what is up? Like, you wearing my ring, hopping on motorcycles with bums you don't want to be, who don't want to be no more than a neighborhood thug. Here she go. He is not a thug. Like, girl, how you gonna be defending your side piece to your fiance, Morgan? I was like, you can't do that. He is not a thug. Like, girl, you can't do that. Morgan will have to put me up on game, though, so I can be right, but... Because my man ain't going. My man would have been to bust down the door. Like, girl, I'm not finna talk to you from this other side of this door. And you're not about to defend nobody that I think you messing with. Mine, he ain't going. He would have been like, oh, I ain't going. He said, don't defend him to me. Like, he said, don't defend your side nigga to me. And she said, he's not a side nigga. Like, there you go. Defending him again. I'm very sorry. And so she was like, Amik Harris was like the main dish. And if he had to be like a side dish, what I say he was, y'all, macaroni and cheese. Because macaroni and cheese is the best side. Everybody loves macaroni and cheese the most. Like, you be feeling even plate with macaroni on Thanksgiving. So, like, don't try to say he was a side person. She said, I can't do this right now. Like, I promise I will talk about it. Just leave. My head is pounding and I just don't want to fight. He said, are you serious right now? He said, I'm not going nowhere until you explain to me. Are you screwing with him? So he got more upset. Like, it just was left. So then all of a sudden, I think the more upset he got, the louder he was. My stomach was just growling. And I think she said that she was more afraid that Meek would wake up and find out that Bash was inside of their bubble. Well, guess what? He did. So he woke up, he came outside in the hallway, put his hand over his wrist, put his leg up against the wall, gave him like one of them stares. Because one thing Mickey ain't is no punk. Like, you can say whatever you want to say. And yeah, you can chalk it up with your fiance, but we going to keep this at a real minimum. Because all that yelling and stuff you doing out there, it's a no-go. And so by this time, but Bash is in front of Morgan, finger in her face, hollering and screaming at her, you got me messed up, blah, 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 blah. He done put his hands around her neck, like, she tried to tell him, like, you really don't want to do this, Bash. Like, I said we could talk later when I'm ready, and you might want to loosen your grip up before you do something stupid, because at this point, it's no longer in my hands. So he's like, oh, you screwed him, didn't you? You got me in here waiting for 2 years until you ready, but you sleeping with him? Before she could respond, Amik said, wasn't no sleeping, homie. Wasn't no waiting either. And those hands around her neck, bad fucking idea. Just real bad. Now Morgan done froze. I'm like, oh Lord, I'm cold. Like, stuck in between a rock and a hard place. Like, you don't really want to, like, be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, Bash, I love you. No, you don't want to do that because you don't feel like that because you really love me. So now, before she could even say anything, they done charged at each other. Amik done beat the brakes off Bash, okay? Like, beat the brakes off of him, smashing his head into the glass. They done destroyed her living room. Glass table broken. Stuff is everywhere. It just went and got... It just went and got laughed. So he smashed his face into the glass. Now he done slammed him, punched him. Now he smashed his face into the glass. So Morgan like, Amik, that's enough. Like, that's enough. And so now Mickey is confused. Like, you were here with this man. He got his hands wrapped around your neck and you trying to tell me to stop? Like, this is confusion. This is confusing to me. Like, I don't need, this is too much for me. And that's what Mickey's mom was saying. Like, you invested too much in her. Like, your heart is the only heart for her that could be broke. And so he said, you know what? She said, I said stop. I could have handled it. You should have stayed out of it. He said, you know what? Yo nigga, your business, Mo. So he go ready to leave. She's like, I'm sorry. She chases him out the door. So you got your fiance in here that your side piece just beat up. You done chased the side piece out the door, though, and left the fiance to be bleeding and leaking on your couch. Like, Morgan, what is going on? Like, what's going on? So she like, so you just gonna leave? Like, I didn't say I wanted you to leave, but that wasn't necessary. She said, you niggas and your anger issues. Now he done spun around on her. He said, nah, it ain't no you niggas. Like, it ain't none of that. The issues, ain't no issues in my head or my heart, Morgan. I ain't Messiah. I'm not Issa. I don't pop off unless it's necessary. He said, people who done ran up on me, they don't live to tell about it. He said, he had his hands wrapped around your throat, but I'm the bad guy, man. Fuck out of here. Like, So just calm down, please. Girl, nah, ain't no calming down because you got me messed up. He said, I'm calm, but I'm out of it, Mo. Like, I'm going to just go ahead and go. So, I'm going to stop right there. And I'm going to come back tomorrow. So, yeah, this was a very heated little chapter. She done got caught cheating on Bash. Bash was like, what's going on? So, when I come back tomorrow, we're going to finish so you can hear what Bash's side is and what he think and where he stands at with it all. So don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. It would make me so excited if you did. Please don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. Also, don't forget to share this with your friends to let them know we got going on over here. We're going to get through these books so we can get to book 4. And then I think I'm going to start another book series that's outside of this series after I get done with book 4 because I'm anxious to do one. I really don't know if I want to do... I think it's called Cam and Gray, I think is what it's called. But there's a lot of books in that series, and I kind of wish I could read like either a standalone book because I just want to be able to do one book, but I'll figure it out. So thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time. I'm tired. Bye, my jujubes.